Community policing is an idea that really works, that uses a partnership between police departments and communities they serve to fight crime. This video shows how that partnership was built in one small town at the tip of Cape Cod. Each city and town is unique, but the solution shown here, step by step, can be used anywhere with dramatic results. Provincetown, Massachusetts is part fishing village, part artist colony, part Portuguese, part gay, part straight, a diverse, complicated place. A town of 3,800 people explodes to 10 times that number in summer, attracting visitors from all over the world. But what seems an idyllic small town has not always been that way.
Provincetown, the highest rate of anti-gay violence of any other town in the Commonwealth except for Boston, and we even had a higher rate than any of the gay ghettos in Boston.
Does everybody know that someone just got shot?
The climate was so tense that you could cut it with a knife. I mean, you could feel it in the streets, you could feel it in the stores. And it was a climate under which there was abject denial across the board about anti-gay violence.
March will go on. Fight back by joining us in a march to end homophobia and the AIDS crisis in our community.
And it was just mind-boggling to me that people would think that not in Provincetown, when underground the stories were rampant about people getting beaten, harassed, threatened, men and women.
Prior to my administration, there was a perception that the police didn't care. That was the perception. And that the police were basically out there just looking to make arrests. And the hate crimes were basically going on.
So this is what Provincetown looked like one ugly night in 1990. The highest rate of hate crimes in Massachusetts. An angry, vocal group that distrusted the police and had taken to the streets. These were the problems that faced Provincetown's new town manager.
The challenge was put out that we have to do something about hate crimes. We have to stop the violence.
Traditional policing methods weren't working, so the town manager brought to the board the philosophy of community-oriented policing.
Community-oriented policing is, in its essence, a problem-solving partnership between the community, the police department, and local government. It recognizes that the job of policing is done by the entire community and not just the police department. Right, we're going to have a meeting of the Hate Plan Working Group to hear an update from the
The first step the town manager took was to bring everyone to the same table. Town officials, community activists, and key members of the police force were all convinced to face each other and face the problem.
If this group could reach a consensus of what way we want to go, then we knew that we had a formula for success. The risky strategy that we developed was to put in writing what the standards were going to be for the police department. Written policies and procedures, written protocol between the police department and our human services department and other agencies, a definition almost by job assignment, civil rights officer, police officer, investigator, dispatcher, police chief, whatever, written expectations of what they needed to do as part of our hate crimes policy.
We had to come up with a procedure in regards to the accountability from the chief right down to the dispatcher. And Sergeant Henderson, well, the first thing I did was appoint a civil rights officer. And that civil rights officer was basically, he was the watchdog of the police department. He basically was monitoring all hate incidents and hate crimes and critiquing them in regards to whether the officer did the proper investigation, whether the victims were taken care of, or whether the AG's office was notified and also the DA's office.
Creating consensus for a new policy and establishing accountability in the police department were not enough. The community had to hear about these new solutions and expectations.
The thing that moved me most was that the police, who were part of our group, our working group, and the administration took it very seriously. They put together a sheet up on it that explained that hate crimes would not be tolerated. And that Memorial Day weekend, which is the kickoff of our season, the police hand-delivered to every guest house these sheets of paper, which went into every guest room, that hate crimes would not be tolerated, and that if there was any incident in their experience they had, these were the steps to take for action.
And basically we sent a message out that we would print names of haters in the paper, whether it be juvenile or adults or whatever the case may be.
When the community can be involved in the process of defining the problem, working out the solution, and then seeing that solution work, it makes it a true partnership between the community and the police department, which provides a great base of support for the police.
The police, in a sense, then owned a part of the plan, and they didn't want it to fail because they were in the spotlight too. And they've been recognized for having the best first response in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Your call's being recorded. What is your emergency?
Suspicion about the police department subsided as the police shifted their focus.
133 Commercial Street. Okay, I'll send somebody right by. Okay.
I think out of this whole process, it has to be the victim that is taken care of, because that's what was lacking to begin with in regards to a victim of a hate crime. Was just a victim of a hate crime, and there was no support.
Received a 911 reference. The subject was just assaulted in the area of 133 Commercial Street. The victim would be waiting in the area. The suspect is also in the area.
Received, responding 133 Commercial Street, fight in progress.
It was August 1994. As this reenactment shows, police responded to a confrontation that had all the makings of a classic hate crime. A young man had been pushed off his bicycle and confronted on the street. The real victim, David Cafaro, tells what happened.
And I went, what? What? And he went, you want to start it up? And right, a punch, a stinging punch, which caught me off guard because I've never been punched before in my life. So here I am, I'm punched, and I'm reacting to the sting, and I'm thinking, and then all of a sudden I'm terrified as to what's happening, and he starts in again. Come on, you want to start it up? You want to start it up? Bone sucker, faggot, bone sucker, fag, all this is going on. And I'm realizing the severity of the situation. He kicks me, he spit on me, then I backed away, and he picked my bicycle up and threw it over a hedgerow. I'm the one who got assaulted.
Hey, what happened and where did he go?
I think he went down to the liquor store.
Hey, why don't we get on the bikes and go look for him?
Okay.
Okay?
Because of a quick response, within 5 minutes of this assault, an arrest was made.
Stop! Stop! Get rid of the bottle. Down on the ground.
But truly supporting the victim means following through after the arrest.
The response was pretty quick. Victim recovery program, John Perry Ryan, victims' rights, that was all presented to me within 24 hours and constantly mentioned. The police chief sent someone over the next day, phone calls were made, things moved in a very orderly fashion.
Because of the work of the Hate Crime Working Group and the individuals that are involved is one of the reasons that this was moved such a fast pace. And August 9th he was arrested. He was arraigned the next day in Orleans District Court. In September he went to the grand jury and was indicted by the grand jury. In October, he was arraigned in Barnstable Superior Court, and the trial is still pending in Barnstable Superior Court as we speak now.
As the group and myself, we thought that it was very important that we got the court system involved. And the first step of getting the court system involved was getting the district attorney involved, because he prosecutes the cases. And the Attorney General has been involved right from the very beginning in regards to civil rights.
Our police chief made it very clear that we wanted prosecutions for these crimes, and we invited the Attorney General's office to come down and meet with the hate crimes working group. And to me, that was the thing that made me realize that work was being done behind the scenes.
And the results have exceeded all expectations. Better communication, policy, and prosecutions have created one more big benefit: a dramatic reduction in crime.
The number of hate crimes has declined by 76%, from 21 in 1991 to 5 in 1994, and we've had 2 for 1995. One of the perpetrators is currently serving time in jail.
It doesn't take long for improvement like this to be noticed on the street.
The town has come so far in 5 years, it's unbelievable. But the community policing and the community relations committee deserve a hell of a lot of credit for doing what they've done, pulling this whole town together. And I think the police have been handling it very, very well.
I like to leave my house anytime in the morning or night, you know, and I feel safe leaving my house here. It's a safe place.
I feel safe and at home, just like I'm at my house. I don't feel bothered at all.
As far as I know, this summer there hasn't been any gay bashing incidents, and I haven't heard for a while now about anything at all. Last summer I heard of maybe 1 or 2 incidents, and the summer before that I heard of like at least 4 or 5, and even before that summer I think it was even worse. So it's getting better.
In Provincetown, hate crimes targeted gay and straight, black and white. Other towns face other police problems, but the solution shown here still works. Here are the 7 key points. 1. Involve a broad spectrum of the community in a dialogue. 2. Reach a consensus that includes the police force. 3. Publicize your solutions and your expectations. Community outreach must include the schools. 4. Support police when the policy is implemented. 5. Support victims of these crimes. 6. Follow through in the courts. 7. Openly critique the process every step of the way.
What we've shown is a plan that emphasizes partnerships and problem solving, community-oriented policing. It's worked in Provincetown, and it can work in your community as well.